Welcome to the Subplot with Jesse Shapiro, where I sit down with people who aren't just talking, but actually making their dreams a reality in show business. Hi, everyone. I'm Jesse Shapiro. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of the Subplot. So, Jesse, it is 2018. Great time to get started on a podcast. They've only been popular for 15 years. Why now? Great question, listener. I think it's because I actually know something. I feel like I've had enough experience in this industry that I have some knowledge and some stuff that I can pass along. And I have friends who are even smarter than me that have a lot of great stuff and information and knowledge to pass along. So a little bit about me, since I think I've got all this knowledge now. What have I done? I am an indie filmmaker. In 2016, I released my first feature film called Nobody Walks in LA. It premiered at the Newport Beach Film Festival and won the Audience Award there. We then went on to the Maui Film Festival, which was amazing, and the film was projected on a 60-foot screen on a golf course. I got flown out and put up at a fancy hotel. It was very exciting, and I finally felt like a filmmaker after 12 years of doing it. And then the film went on to open and get a really great review in the LA Times. Oh, I think I have it right here. I'll read it. What did they say in the LA Times here? They said worth walking to see it in LA. Yeah. A relationship drama wrapped in a city symphony. Nobody Walks in LA is a glossy, intoxicating advertisement for the City of Angels. We should probably keep this one under wraps to keep our rents from going even higher. So that was a highlight of my career. And yeah, it is. It's out there now. And obviously, as an indie filmmaker, I don't make a living making indie films. So I do audience warm up for television shows. I am currently the warm up for The Late Late Show with James Corden, The Jim Jeffries Show on Comedy Central, and Drop the Mic on TBS with Method Man. And before that, I've been in the entertainment industry for 14 years. I started off in 2003, 2004 as an intern and worked my way up from an intern to an assistant at a comedy management company. From there, I parlayed that into becoming the booker at the Hollywood Improv, which is the main comedy club, one of the main comedy clubs in Los Angeles. And from there, basically started working for the Improv's production company, doing television, producing comedy specials, and then went out on my own freelance, which was terrifying, and wrote, directed, and produced 60 comedic shorts for Sony Crackle. And so that was incredible. 2009 came, everything was going great, and then the economy went to shit, and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't find any freelance gigs. And so I went home and lived with my parents for a year back in Los Angeles, which I was lucky enough to have the opportunity and be able to do that since I'm originally from LA. And that was a real tough time for me. At one point, my pops came up to me and just said, "Jesse, are you sure you want to stay in this business? It's not going so well." And I said, "Dad, I don't think there's anything else I can really do," with tears streaming down my eyes. Fortunately, after around a year, it might have been a year and a half, I got a job at Chelsea Handler's production company and parlayed that into working on the show as the audience warm-up guy. And that was the first warm-up gig that I got. And so since then, I've been doing audience warm-up to pay the bills and making films. So what is a subplot going to be? I feel like there's so many people in the entertainment industry and in life in general who just like to talk. And are kind of waiting for success to find them, waiting for someone to knock on their door, for a super agent or manager to come and say, "You're the next big writer, director, producer, actor, whatever it might be. I'm going to make you famous." And they're waiting for that to happen. And while that does happen once in a blue moon, what I found in my time in this industry is that most of the people who succeed go out and create and make success happen. They're out there making things, doing things, and really living a creative life and putting themselves and their work out there. So I want to talk to those type of folks on this podcast, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And I think I want to have open and honest conversations with those people as well. I don't want it to just be me blowing smoke up their asses and telling them what amazing geniuses there are, but I want to hear about the peaks and the valleys, because anyone who's in this industry goes through ups and downs. And I think it's really important for us to share our stories about those downs as well as ups, because it makes us all feel way more normal. Not everything always goes great. Whenever I go to the Improv, which is the comedy club that I used to work at and where I like to hang out a lot, all the comedians, all the industry folks that are talking to each other. How you doing? Oh, everything's great. Oh, I'm fantastic. Oh, everyone's always fantastic all the time. And we all know it's a bunch of bullshit. And so I think it's really nice to hear about people that you respect, that you like, that are doing great things, and hear about their stories of when things weren't so great and how they were able to manage and cope and power through those downtimes. The other topic that I'm really interested in diving into is how the industry is changing. Obviously, there's been a huge technological democratization in terms of content. Anyone can make great looking stuff now. And so it's really a very exciting time. I feel so lucky to be alive at this moment in time. I read George Lucas's biography, and I always assumed he got out of UFC film school and was just given $1 million to go make THX and has been on a roll ever since. But that's not the case. He was unemployed coming out of film school and couldn't get a job. He ended up getting an internship at Warner Brothers, which was a flailing studio at the time and was half empty. And he would go around to the different stages looking for film ends so he could shoot something. He just wanted to shoot anything. He wanted to make something, but didn't have the means to be able to do that. And all of us have those means now to go out if we have an idea and create something great and make something happen. So I'm really excited about exploring that and talking about that. And not only are things changing technologically, but also obviously culturally as well. And from a values perspective, the Me Too movement, which has blown up in the last year and a half, has been fantastic. And I think it's really just the tip of the iceberg in terms of how people treat each other in the entertainment industry. It's been okay for a long time to be a total asshole, and you can get away with it. And I hope and I think that that is changing. So the people that I interview on this show, I really want to try and interview people that are pushing this industry forward and have done it the right way, treat people well, are nice to other people, and aren't succeeding not being a good human being. So I grew up in Los Angeles, and growing up, my parents weren't involved in entertainment, and we had one next door neighbor who was a production designer, but other than that, weren't really involved with many entertainment folks. And my dad would always say, a friend in the entertainment industry is someone who stabs you in the stomach and not in the back. And there are terrible people that work in this business, but there are also some of the most amazing, incredible, good human beings that are in this business. And so I'm really excited about talking about the potential for us to change the culture and the values of this business moving forward over the next 30, 40, 50 years. I don't know. I want to be in this business a long time. So that's it. Thank you so much for getting this far in my first episode. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm going to be doing video as well as audio. So you can check out my YouTube page, youtube.com/Jesse Shapiro. I'm going to be putting up on Facebook, facebook.com/Jesse Shapiro. And I'm not going to ask you to rate or review my podcast yet, because this is just the first episode. See if you like it first. I'll wait 2 to 3 episodes until I start hitting you up for that. You can also find me on Instagram, Jesse Shapiro. And if you want to check out my movie, Nobody Walks in LA, it is available on Amazon Prime for free. You can watch it. It's called Nobody Walks in LA. Search for it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, and I also have to give a big shout out to Richie Cunning, who allowed me to use his song for the theme music. It's called Leave It Alone. Richie Cunning is an incredible indie hip hop artist in the Bay Area. So if you like this song, the theme music, make sure you check him out as well. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you tune in again.
See, I never thought I'd get the chance to do some things I've already done. So in some ways, I've already won. And if the credits roll here, this will be a great flick. But please hold your applause, yo. I'm only